you
the
have
key
to actually
questions?
pick some directions.
There you go.
This thing.
That's
Good
what
questions,
yeah.
right.
But I want to first figure out the DoD opportunity as priority one, and then we can then look at entertainment industry as a
There you go.
secondary, and then other things that pop up. But go ahead.
Yeah, so no, this is, so 3 months of two developers' time, and then after that, 6 months of consistent development time. So you're thinking it'll take about 9 months to be able to sell this?
To sell amulets.
Yes.
And
just-
then, yeah, well, let's say 6 months, and the reason I said, there's going to be, the rollout is, within my experience of these things is this. You build a base use case that includes, iOS, Linux, Unix, if you want to go that route, Windows.
Yeah.
Okay, so you build those.
Mhm.
Now you're gonna have all these edge cases that have, it won't format correctly, or it oversplays it on this device or that device, so.
That's what my follow-up was, too. So this is good. Okay.
No, I mean, but that's gonna be a continuing effort.
Got it.
We need funding, that's gonna go on.
But you think 6 months you'd be able to sell it across all platforms?
Yeah, the issue we're gonna have, just so you know, is when you do something like email, for example, basically anyone you're gonna send an email to has to be able to receive the thing. Now, we have a
Right.
fallback position. Remember I told you about cloak, decloak? If we can get that written for every, which is relatively simple, with that for every environment, that's our fallback position, because even if you don't have an editor that works, if you're not in Outlook or whatever, you can still, the attachments are individual files, so you can still cloak and decloak them if you had to. So that would be our rather awkward, but our fallback position. Ideally, we would like to have a plug-in for Gmail, probably Thunderbird, maybe, some of the bigger ones. But with Outlook, we actually are kind of in a good situation because we do cover the business cases. So they're mostly going to use Outlook too.
And like Aurora was saying, do you have a codified plan that describes this or no?
We have 3 or 4. We have all the stuff actually mapped out from that, but the question is we tweak it, and we get David to tweak it for whatever. But basically, we need to know, what's the end plan? Okay, now we can tell you what developers we need. We can tell you what that's going to cost.
Yeah,
Can you come up with a plan that's no more than 2 or 3 pages
There
long?
you go. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
basically an executive summary of just what I need,
There you go.
how long it's gonna take, just at the various highest levels. You don't even need to attach money to it, because maybe, you can put in I guess this much, but we can figure it
Well,
out.
that's kind of where I was trying to go.
Okay.
Mark's looking for that. I mean, like, hey, let's say you send it to us to test it, we all give it a thumbs up. What are the next steps to be able to get it? Because that's kind of what Don's asking as well.
We have that in 2 different scenarios. We never anticipated
That's a good question.
a bifurcated interest. We weren't doing anything with the predictive. We intended to go full circle as one of our criteria.
Yeah, and again, this is just ambulance, right?
Okay, now it's a little bit easier because we actually, if we just focus just on that and we agree to, and someone were to say to us, what do you want the product to be, right? And it becomes very easy for us. If you say, that's the problem, we need the endpoint.
Okay.
We have all the pieces, right?
Got it.
We have the chess mint. Right?
But let's assume that, does it matter what if it was entertainment industry versus pharmaceutical industry, is that gonna add to the length of time, or it's not, or you just need to know which direction, and then you guys, and that's.
For any one product,
Yeah.
it's a destination, it doesn't matter what that product is, almost. We hit this, maybe you know that maybe don't, but when we did this level we've got here, may not look impressive to you guys, but at the same time, we built every damn component you could ever need to do anything, except the financial services one, which is a transition. It's if you look at that document, I'll send it to you, you'll see what the deal is there. That has nothing to do with the complexity of what we're doing. But so if somebody said to us, define us today, in fact, it'd be easier if we knew sooner rather than later. If we knew today that we're targeting to one specific product, we could give you very finite details, and we can get, and that's a very relatively short, because we would refactor everything, the whatever to serve that, and if it was primarily in the Windows environment stuff, and we can sell it, and it doesn't require an endpoint. Some of the things that we do wouldn't necessarily require. Wallets, for example, those are consumed in-house, whatever. If we did a Bitcoin wallet, so we can do that we can do that. That's almost true. Most of the code that's out there is in the public domain. For example, the Ethereum wallet that's out there is my Ether wallet. It's a piece of crap. Use JK5 for the encryption check.
So you could protect a software wallet with AMUmail?
Yeah, it's.
And I don't need to share it
almost
with
no-
anybody except myself.
Yeah, because there what we do is we take the keystone, let's say Etherwall, right? It uses Java keystone, which is a piece of crap, right? But if you wrap it in an amulet, now it's not a piece of crap so much, because now we can gate
That
it.
is a very interesting use.
Yeah, because we gate it in and out of.
Actually a very interesting use case. That,
I wanted to download that source code for my Etherwall, because that was one of the things we were talking about. And then, of course, it crashed, and to me, it was getting too flaky when I got to go vacate the first go up, whatever. I said, no, this is stuff with my bubble, and I didn't commit to it. But we could do a job of, we had a kid we were going to hire, not pay anything, but hire and stuff like that. I just not a Java guy, but that's relatively, we could do that with a combination. We could take the key cloak that we have now. We just need to lock down that gateway. When they go and ask for the key store in order to go make the ledger request or whatever, that we gotta nail that down, because you're in a Java environment. We can do that. We can do that with Amulets.
so, you know what Coinbase is?
That Litecoin or the Coinbase?
No, Coinbase is one of the exchanges.
Oh, the
They're
exchange, okay, that's.
the largest exchange, and there's some others, so, but they're storing the keys themselves. So your thing.
But you still have to have it in and out of the wallet to make the request, and that's the problem, that's where the real issue is.
Well, basically what they do is they're holding a wallet, they have a UI.
Yeah.
Like I use Coinbase and I can trade anytime, but if they get compromised, then I'm screwed. So the question would be, this is an interesting one. There's probably more than 75 million people now trading Bitcoin. Or Bitcoin. I think it's gonna go to 100 million by next year. So this actually becomes an interesting use case of how much of that population is actually got software wallets. But this could be a quick hit scenario out of the gate. I just
That's
not
a good
talking
point.
more because
That's a good point.
The caveat, so for that, there's only 281 actual transactions, 281 million since 2012, the dawn of it. That's the whole problem. Everybody invests in Bitcoin as a value, as a investment, but people aren't doing transactions.
no, I'm not talking about transactions, I'm just talking about number of users signing up and holding it, speculation like I do. I watch it go up and down, I go, oh, I should sell, I should buy it.
That'd be a low use.
And I always know when I should sell, then I don't sell it because I could probably make money because of the wallet, but there is enough of a scare when some people are putting more money, they get a Ledger or Nano, or what's the other one there, the hardware wallets, but those hardware wallets where, well, this is where I think you may be handicapped, because you don't have mobile, and people want to use mobile, so if you got a desktop, because that's what the other problems are.
But it can be mobile, right? You're just.
We can examine them get us from our code now, examine Microsoft.
But that development cycle is gonna be a little while, because getting through, the Android is not difficult, because any hacker can put that on. It's the Apple one. The bigger market is with Android. So you can decide what you want to release and how you want to release it.
One of the problems we have with mobile is the disparity in the capacity, capabilities of devices.
Because now
Right.
your parameters,
No,
your
it's-
environmental parameters on the devices are where it's gonna be kind of interesting to see what you can get.
We can get pretty low capability bandwidth. We can get on mobile devices, get a Samsung, basically 8 gigabyte, whatever. We can do pretty well. You get below that though, and it starts getting really dicey because we need background, we need threaded. First of all, it has to be a threaded CPU to do it the way we normally do it. We can pull it, but that's gonna cause interruptions in what you do when you're in a phone call. I mean, it gets, it gets a really, so what we do, we have a solution for that. And for mobile devices that we have the idea of we call it Guardian Gateway server, where we offset those tasks to where you have a trust relationship with a third party entity, and we just farm that out over encrypted. So we can do it that way, but it starts getting really interesting. We did some, both me and I work for Tilster. One of the issues you get into is things like GPS, geocoding, and geofencing.
So in the classified, non-classified network, that's gonna be the other challenge with the system. You have to think about that.
Without a
because-
doubt.
Right?
Without a doubt.
Sensitive, unclassified, classified.
There's so many different
All the
levels.
different levels that you gotta look at where the data and how does it even go in. And I think that's one of the other obstacles. So, in his defense, because I'm a guy trying to do startup as well too, is the use cases are gonna be very critical. What he's got, I think, is what he's saying is I've got core, but I need to find the home, but to find the home, you have to have a lot of deep understanding And the other challenge with DoD is just going through the certifications to get in there, the sales cycle.
There's a lot to DOD, which is why if we could
I'm
go
not
to
sure
the
ambulance
commercial
go
or-
with DOD though.
What?
Well, there's kind of, we don't intend, just so everybody's clear, we're not intending to put ambulance themselves. Other than one technology I talked to you about on the side, you idiots.
Yeah, I didn't know there was homework
the-
required of this thing.
We're not, we don't, because we can't give up that IP. That's God's.
No, I mean, yeah, so when Mark
Right,
said
for the
DOD
right
first, that's why I
amount of
kinda wanna make, what I was
Right amount of
envisioning,
money,
Well,
the main
there-
thing I was envisioning for the DOD was like the predictive analysis.
We're
of
right,
power
yeah,
measures or something.
Yeah, that we intend to do.
Yeah, but for ambulance, I think that the play to the commercial side is,
Okay.
I
Well, I
knew that would
wasn't
be
sure.
the one to look at.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to
and
get
that
clarified. That is a good point, because, yeah, there is, because, yeah, I mean, even.
We'll give you the IP for, we'll be looking at it, but if we get to a point where we come in, but the DOD side, that.
I think the DOD would fall in love with it, and I think there could be a
We've
play, like
had
a
those-
horse said, I mean, you have top secret, you have
$4 million
secret,
just to get
But see, you have a reference.
Yeah, think about it, there would be a
It's a
lot of investment
certification.
just to get it to their specs.
It's
Whereas
not money
with
well
the
spent.
predictive stuff, we have a lot more flex.
Yeah, but I can give you that IP because it's kind of set aside.
Right,
So we're not, there's certain parts that we'd like to keep a licensed
You
bath.
gotta find that pilot hole where this takes off.
But I think for Sony and stuff, I think there's immediate,
Yeah.
like if we wanna just get
Sony
this
was
out
jumping at
there.
our chain 2 years ago, 2014, they had to have, in 2011, they had to have PlayStation,
I must
in
think that would be the
2014.
quickest.
And they actually, we had a communication set up, with we had a guy that was CEO.
I actually already know what I need to do.
Yeah, you and I mean, before we go forward.
I gotta get
we're
a
going to
meeting
use-
going with you and my, one of my business partners.
Yeah, it could be.
Because I have a feeling that
That'll
his
make it
company,
almost-
they just raised more money. His company, may want to joint venture with you for the entertainment
Really?
side because they already have the customers. So this is
That's
all,
what
like,
we
the
really
key is
want.
customers, customer acquisition.
Absolutely.
Always, right? So
Yeah, we don't want
that's why I'm
extra
trying to,
technology.
yeah.
But it's going forward though too, in addition to that, so in addition to giving you your 3-page way-ahead plan, I'd also like to hopefully sometimes sit down and talk to a bar, because I think there's a tie-in with what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I think there's a potential way to merge it to make it even more attractive, so just FYI. A couple more questions quick, and this is just for me, I mean, when you envisioned it, who did you imagine your target audience to be? Was it just the general everyday user, or is it more to like the IT?
It started out being,